Welcome to Aaron's review, and in today's video is number 84. We'll be doing full review of the KBear Diamond Ini monitor. Before I start this video, I just want to say that the KBear Diamond was released about middle of December to the end of December of 2019, so it's a relatively new Ini monitor that has one dynamic driver. The price of this retail product is originally $79 and from what I'm aware of, this is actually the full retail packaging of what you will be getting when you purchase this Ini monitor. I'm happy to say that this product was provided free of charge to me so that I can review on my channel. The company that provided this for free was EE Audio Store on AliExpress. This is provided in the link below, and what's even better, for you viewers who are interested in this Ini monitor, they are also able to provide you a VIP price of $70 if you're interested in buying. So you might want to contact Belar in the link below so that you may get this at the VIP price of $70. And furthermore, I do not get anything from them. But I'm always happy to review a product so that you guys benefit, and what's even better, they're able to give you a $9 discount, which also benefits you more as well. So what you see in front of you, besides the two players right now, are the accessories that you are getting. The accessories and cable have been carefully selected as to complement this Ini monitor. The cable is soft like the Zonies and CA, and lies within these two cables, judging by the thickness of how thick it is. So 8 braided copper cable was selected. It is silver plated copper cable, and one that I think does not require upgrading. So right out of the box, I think this is it, but let's talk more about the cable in a minute. In regards to the number of E-tips, there's a good and plenty with silicone. 3 sets here, 3 sets of spin fit type ear tips, and 2 foams. So a vast amount of selections, one that I do not feel require you to buy anymore. As many of you know, I actually do use spin fit, but guess what, this time I don't think you need to buy it. So that's the reason why I'm currently using to provided accessories, and this includes the cable too. The carry case smells nice and does its job and goes into the case without any issue, as the cable is soft. So at $79 or $70 since EE Audio Store is giving you a discount, you have a complete package that requires no extra cost. Only thing I have added to this Ini monitor would be a cable tie so that it would then attach to my t-shirts, as Hong Kong is quite crowded and I don't want my Ini monitor falling onto the floor. Looking at the Ini monitor now, the Ini monitor does feel premium. There is much weight to it because it's made of metal, so it does feel heavy but not uncomfortable. It is a diamond-like carbon coated driver inside that is 8.5mm in size, which is said to have exceptional frequency response, fast and precise, transient and low distortion, a sound signature that is transparent, crisp and clear with natural timbre. Weight of this Ini monitor is made of metal, so there is actually some weight to it. In regards to wearing this for long hours, I'm able to say that there is no fatigue at all for wearing this long hours. It feels nice, there is premium. I like the green color, the sage green color, and also the carbon coated faceplate, which makes it stand out if you look closely here. And yes, furthermore, this is an Ini monitor that you're able to change the cable to see if other cable makes it even better. So roughly speaking, I've been using these for the last couple of days, like about 6 or 7 days now. And one thing that when I first tested this Ini monitor on the first day of unboxing was the fact that the focus was predominant, which is what is important, as I mostly listen to songs. So I do want the vocals of the singer to be present and quite close. And the other reaction that I thought was that the any monitor sounded quite boomy. Now, having spent a long time with this is what I can gather about this any monitor. And as you can see, I have been testing it with 2 players. I have currently slightly changed my setup. My current copper version is now here, and I've now replaced my stainless steel with the amp onto this one here. So why have I done that? Well, obviously the power that it brings from each player is slightly different. This is 2.2. This is slightly more, 4 point something. But if we go back to the amp, 6.2, and then I think around 10 is what the balance does on the amp here. One thing to note about this any monitor, it does require power to fully enjoy and experience what they are trying to give you. And furthermore, so maybe turning this volume a bit higher will benefit. Another thing that I found out about this any monitor, after a lot of testing and having now burnt in, it does require burn-in, which means that you will need to use the player for many hours non-stop so that the driver gets warmed up and is now providing at its exceptional standard rate so that you are able to get its full potential. When I first tested it, I did try it with C8s, but when that was quite new, that made I felt that the cable with the C8 and this any monitor was not a good match. But having now actually done the burn-in, I'm happy to say that after done this burn-in, this cable is good, but testing it with the CE and at 2.5mm balance is even better. Bass has now calmed down, which I thought was a bit worrying at first when I first tested it. So we now come to the full review of what this any monitor. Having tested it for many hours, I have been using it on my commute, I have been sleeping with it, and I am thoroughly enjoying it using the SP1000 with amp because it's providing that exceptional power that it requires us to drive this dynamic driver. The dynamic driver, as I mentioned, is a special one. It's a diamond-like carbon coated membrane. It is said to be a new technology that increases the higher frequency by 0.2 to 5 dB, and probably that is maybe why it requires a bit more power to drive it and definitely burn-in time as to achieve its full potential. The next thing I want to talk about is the audio quality. So let's start the review of what it's like having spent many hours with it and burning it in while using the SP1000. A slightly higher volume is probably beneficial as to get the potential of dynamic driver from this IEM. I would say about 90 is what I will be used if I were to use it with the SP1000 only. But if it's with the amp, I would probably say about 60 volume, and that is using the 3.5mm cable that is standard here. But if you are able to change it or replace it to another cable, it even benefits more if you are using it 2.5mm. Well, that's what I find when I'm using my SP1000. Since the Star Wars video has just been released, I will start off by saying the bass is strong with this one, guys. It has a deep, rich mid bass. Probably not for bass heads as it doesn't go that much. It is a punchy bass and provides the grunt in the low end. The sub bass is powerful. Bass and sub bass I feel is controlled without getting into the extreme of discomfort, because I have tried some which are quite discomforting because the bass has been too high. Instrument separation is good as it's able to provide an engaging sound. Sound stage is wide and the vocal is up there and not laid back. So predominance with that punchy bass and engaging sub bass. Trebles are there. Listening to Ariana Grande Thank You was a pleasure when vocals was clear and sweet, allowing you to enjoy her voice and her vocals, coupled with the separation of the instruments and the deep drum hitting you at the very start of the track. Not fatiguing at all, no harsh peaks, requires burn-in for sure, as bass was too boomy at the first listen. and eventually it did calm down, making it even more enjoyable and benefits with a slightly higher volume. At first, when IEM was new with no burn-in and using C8, cable sounded too much as the bass was too strong. Having spent a few endless days listening to it and using C8 again, much better than before. If I were to use this now, I would probably say I will stick with the C8 because I feel that 2.5mm provides a better power to drive this any monitor. In regards to listening it, sub bass extends very well with quantity and feel. And feel that a subwoofer was actually placed inside your ear, as you are able to feel this rumble. An absolute good IEM that I'm enjoying right now, and one that I would probably recommend due to the fact that what you're getting right out of the box is all you need, and I'm currently enjoying it very much right now, especially with the burn after the burn-in. So for those who are thinking of buying this any monitor, do note that you might need to burn it in first, which requires you to make sure that it's just playing. You don't have to listen to it. Just make sure you plug it into player so that sound is actually going through this, and then hopefully that will warm things up inside so that eventually the bass, definitely the mid bass, or the booming bass that you get at the very start, calms down so that it makes it even better. And the cable provided is already top notch because I think the cable is nice and soft. Definitely they have selected everything that you need in this box so that you do not need to buy anything extra as to use this any monitor. And as I mentioned, I have only been using their stock cable, their accessories, which is the E-tips that they have provided, without having me to provide any extra. Now the only reason that I try other cables is because I have them, and that's the reason why I try to also test other cables to see if this brings anything to other any monitors such as this one. Anyway, that is all I want to say about this AE monitor. Very nice. I've just finished reviewing it. I will still be using it. Unlike the 10 Hi-Fi T4s where I reviewed it, listened to it, and it's now in my box right now. But with this one, yes, and like the Balloon 03s, which I'm still using, I think these two right now are ones that I will still be using. Anyway, that's all for now. I have some more INI monitors coming my way, so stay around, and I'll see you again in the next video, and thanks for watching.